Good evening, folks. It's 22:48 on the 20th day, second month, 2023. And boy, is that a lot of deuces over there. They're dropping a deuce on you. And do you see that beam popping out from a kite? Whammo. Right there. Look at the gilt. This is a beam. They forgot to hide uh, from from me. You will not disguise your lies in the skies. And that's some nasty cells of storms going over these islands here, and it's not a very happy day for the people over in the hydrographers passage. Yeah. Yes, that's quite a word, isn't it? Yeah, water graphene. Not graphene water, it's almost like hydrographene, but not quite. I like my world degraphinated. How about you? Yes, I like my air degraphinated. How's about you? Hey, McKay, how you doing? How's this creek doing? A little bit of inundation going on? The timberlands there. How you doing? Oh, there's a big train turnaround spot there. You got a tram? Or is that a turnaround spot that needs some freedom? Freedom from the old ways of doing things. Freedom from the work and hard sweat of your grandfathers building bridges because you got to build back better. Well, you got to build back, period. Who knows if it's going to be better? Because modern things ain't building nothing that lasts. So, I'm going to get to the punches on this, right? Here's your accumulations, and I'm going to put this modem extender things through its paces. And so far, I'm very pleased how quick it loaded some screens. There's some heavy totals over here. What I'm looking at is on the fives, and I ain't buying that. And the corridor up here is horrendous, and you got a big one coming behind it. I see something big being made. And so I'm going to begin to look at that area of the tropics tomorrow. Now, you know I'm going to look at it. Hey, Darwin, you'll be bubbling the water there. My goodness. Hey, it's a lot of water in these little tributaries and creeks and drainages here. It's not going to be happy times along the coastlines, that's for sure. And Catherine, my gosh, you'll be walking around with stilts on over there, ain't you? You poor folks. These geoengineers have you in their sights. You definitely a logistics strong point. You know, if there was war from another country on your country, I'd be wiping this out. Because look at the crossroads. And you got a base there you could take out with water. We didn't do nothing wrong. Chinese geoengineering methods going on all around you, and I'm watching you guys getting invaded by China, and ain't a person stepped in yet. Or have they? I don't know. All you people talk about tunnels being destroyed. I'd be worried about something coming out of them now. And well, you better learn to speak Mandarin on Clab Claw Island over here. Hey, tumbling waters. Whoa, boy. Yeah, it's aptly named. What do they want, a shortcut here and leave you out of it? They could take the highway straight through here is more sense for the railroad. Maybe you guys are about to lose your town and gone. And again, when you have big floods, you know to get your vestments up. Don't get caught in a freaking roof without the ability to get out. And I suggest you put some kind of a crank up flashlight and you put some kind of a black max, one of those things you pry stuff out with a hammer, anything else, you get out of an area because you will automatically run up if waters are coming up to your ankles. But here we'll never have those type heights of floodings we've seen in Lismore and them because the land isn't the same. But some places are going to have some problems. It's when the bridges wash out and you think there's a road underneath you and stuff, but there's really just a drop off is when you really become a statistic of a geoengineering killings. And as we look on the tents, there's some big tendrils headed your way, Queensland, and this well. And my concern is this will be a spinner because all the dynamics I see of the flows from the tropics and everything here and the winds and everything, and even now, like if I go here in the tens, right, and I'll do this. I'm going to put this modem through their paces. Thank you very much, everybody, for your help to achieve this. And the little bit left over, there's going to be a soccer ball and a pump for the lads that live here because they've got nothing to do. And it's just, I don't know if I was them, I'd want one. So thank you, community, for your koha, and I will do koha with koha. Why? Because it isn't about paying it forward. It's just about doing what's right. Oh my. These are bad tendrils, and as these come ashore, they'll be in waves. And this is over a vast area. So the inundation, if this was a straight line storm, they could bring that in and belt it from here to here. But this is most likely going to get gathered. Uh-huh. And there'll be a split. So this half here, right about through here, the weather plan is showing me a straight line. So that means they're going to need a beam up coast. Somewhere in the 10 days, I'll have to determine when I can predict a CME, a solar mass ejection, which is impossible to do. But if you know the lies of our oppressors, you know, their method of operandi there, you know, the MO, a bunch of moles, let's just call them moles for short. You see what I did there? Come on, let's keep laughing, because this is horrendous. Yeah, this is bad. Most of this tendril here that you guys was worried about, she's going to fuck off. Your problem, New Zealand, is coming from the south. I keep telling you now. You'll have it within the fives. Right? Within the fives, that should be over. And the totals after that ain't huge. I ain't seeing huge increases. So you get a bit of a hue. Whew. But this underneath it ain't good. So it looks like you're going to have a fairly soggy 2 to 3 week period going on with the flows from the south coming up to feed this stuff here would keep the cold and the hot merging here as well through various flows. And the heat is going to play a big role in the weather in Australia as well, because it has natural effects, which I always look for. I look for natural weather. I mean, I see trees in a valley steaming up. I know that's a natural thing that are going to occur with pressure changes, even, right? But I could look above them and tell the chem bombs and other things as well. So, you know, don't tell me there ain't natural. I know that the whole atmosphere is not as natural as it used to be, but were you there to measure it? All I know is I do see natural amongst man-made, and I have to look for that. Why? Or other, I'm not being objective. Right? But Catherine, you get problems. So what I'm going to do now is, what the fuck? Let's just run this thing through its paces. Let's go mimic. Yeah, beam going on. Another one. Uh-huh. And I might be able to blame this one on, actually on harp. So I'll change. See how fast this loaded? Yeah, I'm loving this. Thank you for the help. And it's not this in my ease. I'll go 72. I'm going to go domain global, which puts us in the middle. You'll see he's blessed. And actually, I'm right here. You'll see this tickle here. And I saw a flash on another thing right here. And it's cut the storm. Right here. So that blast there is clearly indicating HARP was involved, and it can go up and over the pole, but there would have to be a relay station somewhere around here or cooperation to pulse back. Boom. That's a whomp. That's a big one. It went right over the North Pole. And this one merged as well. So the shock wave of where those two pulses met, it's not going to be good. And it all funneled everything down into here. If that pulse had been south up, it would force all this moisture from here up. So what it's done is put a dynamic here across this main basin that's actually going to force some of this stuff south, folds it. So that's going to drought out here, snow up the mountain where the ski resort money makers get their geoengineering event, and it busts up this tropical flow. Tropical flow here is being owned, absolutely owned in Honolulu. So if you point at the SBX there and say it's doing it, it's very possible. But there's a lot of ground-based devices there that they don't need to ship. So they can beam to that SBX to signal a very high wattage from some ground-based station and relay it, so to speak. That's how only way they can get it across the whole entire planet. And you see a big blast came across the United States. That's going to fuel a snowstorm. It's going to boom, pulls up to tropical, heats that up, needs a cold. There's actually a block here. There's a new method showing up. Watch where I'm pointing. See? Boom, boom, boom. Only left a quarter of cold air to come down through here. That's going to manipulate where the fire smoke is. It's going to hold it in this area. Right? I have to look at that. Where's the smoke from these fires going? And that right there kept it away from the United States. The United States used geoengineering and flow to hold this over here. So what's that going to do to the forest when it falls out? That carcinogenic stuff. You can't change a hazard sheet to say what you want it to say after we already have copies that said it was harmful to children and cancerous and leukemias and stuff. And for fish and wildlife, some of this stuff in the smokes Not particularly the one in the power plant as much as the one over in Ohio. It is a Chernobyl-like event without the radiation tick. It was a very invisible killer, and for some poor folks, I'm sorry. The corporation has killed you. I'm telling the truth. More shockwaves definitely going to be adding to Turkey's woes. Yeah, when these big beam come across, the seismicity is going to increase in Turkey, which is over here. Right, watch this blast. Somebody was asking me. This is the area where Gobekli Tepe and all that stuff is, and a lot of other mounds. That sent a shockwave, and it was a secondary here. So you got fucked again, Turkey. I can see it right up here in the top. Watch. Boom. And then another. Boom. See it? Light up. And that looks most likely came from a non-NATO country. Yeah. It's a blast. Russia's got devices too. You point at HARP, which is an anagram for a research program, but that type array is going a long way since then. You know, the device down here will blow a HARP off the planet. Yeah, that super darn they got. That's a blaster. You got a device over here, Blenheim. An ESCAT radar. It has got movable, it's like a radar dish that's shaped like a rectangle. But it's the panels, you can scan them up and down, and each one of them is capable of making the same amount of blast as one of them big dumpers you see on the top. Well, not quite the SBX, but on some of the other big radar ships. Yeah, you could do a lot with that, designed for missile defense. And while it's not stopping missiles, it's fraying the fuck out you and doing weather warfare. I'm telling you, I see stuff centered over China. I see the USA blasting over here. I see electronic warfare going in, and Oz is wide open for an invasion. I ain't trying to wind you up, but you know, there come a time when you got to look at the skies for more than just the chem bombs, and when they can bring the cloud deck down to 1,000 feet, 1,500 feet in troposphere, yeah, you're in fucking trouble. How much time you gonna have to run to your barn and grab whatever you think you had? Your cold dead's hand will be burning hot when they're hit with microwave weaponry. I'll fucking tell you that. Go strip some plasma off of that gun of yours. I'm gonna Glock that shit. Oh, I'm just being honest. I'm very worried about that. If all you Q people talking about all this war shit going on with China, if your shit is correct, you are now wide open for an invasion. All right? Look at the bombs that are being deployed. Look at how your government sucked up to China. Is it possible you've been infiltrated and a coup is going on and you don't even know about it? And your constitution is completely fucking illegal and you had a corporate coup. It's a fact it's happened. Go look up what I'm saying. Don't shoot the messenger. But when you shoot the messenger, they are often nailed to the cross like many a person's savior. Never learned the lesson of it. It's time to tip the tables of the banker. And it was a time to have a great crusade. And there's a time to stop the lies that are not disguised in the skies and stop the flooding out of innocent people, the destructions of native forests, and the general dissing of ease. As the shockwaves of pulses go out, I'm sorry, ours is not always facing the sun. When there's a CME or something, I don't buy gravity wave unproven theory, which is a fact, it's unproven. Even NASA debunked itself, and then it debunked itself. I'm sorry, your bunk bed don't last a long time when you're humping the bunk, Mr. Nasshole liars. Tell the truth. Boom! That's an EMF blast. Boom! But if I zoom in real close, I'm gonna show you. This is not just EMF. There will be bombs. Oh, this loaded nice. See the bomb there? Providing the chemical catalyst for the wave propagation to continue to go out infrasonically to hem the chem, cause pulsations. If you can measure from here and there apart, you'll know the exact frequency that was used. So that you can maybe play a reciprocating waveform. However, when you got propulsion by explosion as well with shape charges, this thing can move along quite well. Give quite a look. So there's some bombs here, 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 and here, and here's the knuckle nucleus, brass knuckles, the pain in the ass knuckles right there. Oh, we go on another 10 minutes. Oh, we got the trident, right? Another one there. You can't leave King Trident out in Ariel under the sea. Yeah, Mr. Clapclaw. If you don't like Sebastian, but we're being ruled by a bunch of Sebastians. Yeah. It's a salty situation. Don't suck the salty chocolate balls. Okay, I got that on my head today. Yep. Suck on the salty camber bombs. I'll put 'em in the air. It sucketh. Mm-hmm. If you have a clear blue sky, the chem bomb come around. Boom, boom, boom. Chem bombs that sucketh on my balls. So pressers put 'em in my mouth and suck 'em. You guys are sucking this up like buttercups, man. Breathing all this shit that's falling out from this continuous Abomination of Chemtrail. Just change your fucking name. You're the biggest firework consumer in the world right now. Oh my God, would you look at the guilt written all over the earth, the mother's face? That's not an ohm symbol that this is the time to go out and breathe this stuff. Or maybe Jim Jones's Kool-Aid has come in many different forms. We should change. The Kool-Aid has become Q-Aid. Ray, you might as well have a telethon to promote some people's continual bad statistics of does it happen? Happen. This is happening every day. And Donald Trump did not end chemtrails. He wants to broker a new deal. He wants a new deal. The USA was paying too much. Watch why he pulled out. He told on himself. As I look at the continuing chem bombs up in a great big square here, square there, element left with the dose side door. Everybody go outside and breathe. You know, look at your phone in the dose side door. And the chem bombs coming. You don't not know. Chem bombs fucking suck. They fucking do. And they're going to inundate the whole fucking ocean out here with these false sky lashes. We're not even invited to a fireworks show. There's not even a bunch of music, you know. At least they should do the dun 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 na 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 na. Farm fish industry loves it. Dun dun na na na. Save the whales while we poison them with acids. Bastards. Dun dun da da. Things are under the sea over here. They're using their fucking aerials, these fucking beams, right here. I was watching them earlier. Yep. It got the aerials blasting down here. And killing Ariel and Mr. Krabs and Sebastian the Bastard and King Triton is marching on and on and on and on. And he's got the trifecta. And I've had enough. They washed out a forest of trees that were living. From trees that they killed in the forest. Chopped to pieces were washed upon the roots of a scoured island this week. As akin to grinding up a child and pouring it on a mother's feet. And I will not be silent about the deaths in New Zealand that you'll never know. They were Pompeyed under a cold lahar that rode underneath the flash floods that came down the mountains, thus raising the floods, the waters above the sands that were newly deposited, and the friction of them rolling down heated them up and setting like concrete. And those people have been Pompeyed, who knows how many thousands of years of them now. They'll be dug up, and what story will be told about them? Was there a mass extinction? Will they be honest and say that chem bombs sucked, and 11 days beforehand some guy without all their degrees and stuff accurately forecast a storm being born with chem bombs here. He said he was going to come down here, kiss the coastline, and come over here, be handed off the two islands, be blasted with EMF. And when they did the turn, he said there was going to be a CME to cover up the lie, and we have it all documented. And then the islands beamed it across, and I said it was going to do a curveball even when I was up here, and it did it. I'm sorry, Fizzler. Your multiple choice 1 in 3 and 4 chance of being correct, but then telling people right before the storm came it was going to fizzle out is the direct proof that these peers don't know what they're doing or they're hiding things, and they want you killed. His advice made people go home, and it didn't go too well for people around this beautiful area. I want people to say prayers now for the wildlife in the area that's now buried under mud Pompeii, for the couples in the cars when the windows broke that are Pompeyed and we'll never see them. The death toll will never be known accurately. And things that go unseen are not seen, right? Notseen, not seen. And I'm tired of this not seen, seen, with things going unseen and unsaid. And boy, have I caught some abuse for this one. I thought Liz Moore was bad. That's okay. I get this. So these islands being beamed into existence, and the combination of it all is well evident here in the skies that they have not disguised from my eyes. I'm not so glad for Gladstone seeing this shit on the low deck. You know, it's not very happy bubbles for the beautiful seahorse bubbling happily. A bunch of fucking chem bomb shit out of this little beautiful mouth. They take the gene from that, the male starfish when men start getting pregnant. Think about that. So, anyways, I gotta move on. Rockhampton, and is having a bad time here. I bet your air is like dairy or smells like shit, smells like ass. The sulfur, let's see if we can pick up some sulfur plume. Let's see what you got. This is your SO2. It's not particularly high. Oh, I'm coming. I told you, you fuckers killed trees and ground them and put them at their feet. Oh, I'm so upset. Fucking bastards. No fucking feelings for nothing. Nothing. Surface ozone dust mask SO2. That's the best I'm gonna do is the sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide content is really pretty predictably over some of the cities, and I'd like to know what's going on here industry-wise. There's so much sulfur here. But if I go over now, let's see what it is right now. Okay, if I go over here right now, there ain't a huge city here where I expect that much traffic. So let me go look and see what's in the air over Muzzleworth here. Have they been combined over near Tamworth and all that? Glenn's anus. Glen Anus, what? Oh, good, we're rolling. What was I looking for here? Give me a moment. Add more layers. Melbrook, Tari, Newcastle. I gotta know where I am. Tari, Newcastle. What explains this? So it should be about here. Well, that explains it. Look, there's Tari and all that, Scone and all that. So I'll turn that off a minute. Let's have a look. What could have possibly caused a sulfur dioxide plume? Yeah, that's what the two O's are. In case anybody that went to uni, it doesn't have anybody to copy homework off of. See the chem bombs? I'm going back in 10 minutes. So this was at 6:30 my time. About 6 hours ago I loaded this. That's not a fair thing to do then. So let me reload. It's not fair data to me if it's that far up. Nope, nope, nope. We keep it accurate. If we're not being accurate, what are we? We are a liar. We're trying to make arguments that suit our what we want things to be, just like our oppressors do when they lie with statistics, and I will not be privy to that kind of shit. Alright, we're back over here to Tamworth Corridor. We're looking at the chem bomb field. Wah wah. Wee wah wah wah. Chem bombs suck. Alright, here's Scone. Here's that field. Here's that what I was looking at. Here's the Tyree. This is where the sulfur plume is showing here. And its thickest is Muswell Brook. Yeah, you put that mussel in the brook and wash that shit. Maybe that's where it's coming from. Alright, I'm going to have a look. Ew, how rude. Bye. If you say ew to me, you love political correctness and to control what other people think, and I have no use for you. Yeah, I fight that, by the way. And I do all sorts of things to trigger you to do it. I'm going to set you up to do it. To show me your true colors. Because you don't need to be part of the problem. We're here to let people be. Yeah, the king said fuck. So by the way, don't get on me for saying it anymore. It's not a swear. It's considered King's English. Okay, it's going to flash for a minute. Well, let's see how good it does. Yeah. Come on. Move it. Sometimes if you move, it starts moving. Let's see how quick this comes. All right, we're over here looking for the bombs. All right, let's double verify where the city shitties are. All right, am I looking in the right place? Yes. Right here is the adjective preposition. We'll put it right front and center of the screen. We'll have all this crap blown up to see. We'll try not to look at. Right? Just like you do every day when you look the other way when they're above your head. All right, here's where the bombs are going off. And you got big sulfur plume because it looks like they've created a sulfur plume. So I would like anybody during any kind of rain that occurs down there, if you have some litmus paper, I would like a basic pH check of that water that comes down. And if you don't get any rain, then that's just a bunch of fire accelerants that's just falling on you. And you have two oxidizer and a sulfur. Yeah, you got to have oxidizers in your firework mix. I'd call it fire accelerants. It's more accurate. I like accuracy. Why? Because I have to talk with doctors and PhD program people sometimes when they try to say, how the hell do you do it? I said, well, I don't think like you do. I start there. That magazine is not my homework. I look at the sky, I look at this, and I think. I think. Imagine that, you think. I think, I think, I thunk. I think I don't want none of their chemi chocolate balls, man. I'm not putting their chem in my mouth and sucking it. This whole fucking program said, what the hell is this? A big bell end out here? Hi, look at that fucking shit. What in the absolute fucking hell is that? What in the hell is that? Well, fucking Sergeant, that one. Right? I think you've been chem bombed very badly out here in the ocean. It is. That's streamers of death. That's sickness mix. And it's going to head over the top of my window. Look at the face that's been drawn here. Like a flying monkey from the Wizard of Oz. Ah, fucking hell, look at that shit. That's just nasty. That's just nasty, man. Nasty skies. Boom, ba boom. Boom, 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 plume, plume. Get your nasty skies. Nasty with your toys. Do you have nasty toys? The flower of death. The domino. Right? The 3 and the 1. Domino. Ooh, ooh. Smack them bones on the table, baby. Smack them bones. When the chem bombs come and you're not prepared, you're going to go outside and sneeze toxic air. And when the asthma flares because you never had it before, and these streamers of death are above the house on your door, it's time for you to say you might be fed lies. Because now that you look up, the lies in the sky are not disguised. Now let's look at your line terms. And no, I don't plan to say some shit. That's just I full flow my videos, you know. I don't play games. All right, we'll put the rain and the thunder on. And this is a bit of a look at what's going to go on here in the troughs. You can get some well-needed rain, but you don't want it coming down like they are. Now I'm hearing something odd about this region, and I want people to check. Somebody planted some corn. Nothing unusual, nothing GMO. And each one of the stalks in his garden, the little stalks, each one of them is growing 2 ears. Now I looked, if they germinate and grow really fast all at once, it'll do this. The plant thinks it has to make a quick quick seed, because that's what plants do. They try to make a seed, and if you stop them from doing it, you can make roses go a long time. Yeah. Oh, Tamworth, look, you got some action coming on Wednesday. Oh, it's Peter now, so your radar is gonna pop on, force the storm over the cuffs. You'll make it a corridor, so you'll need a glitch to happen then. But not till it gets right near it. Till then, she'll aerial, man. Pulsate just to fuel the storm. Just tickle it on the bottom level, bomb it on the top, and you got a storm. And she's working up the coast, folks, following the highway as we go through Thursday. Not too good for you and Lismore and along the coastline. You might want to move your surfboards. Yeah. Surf. The best surf up's going to be down here. If you want to go have fun. Yeah, I've already looked at the winds and stuff. You'll want to go there, and yeah, all along here. Because of the shit going on out to sea. Yeah. Well, you really want some good surf, you hit these islands out here. Because there's some big rumblers and big waves out there. And you got a couple rogues going. I don't know exactly where the big one is right now. But there is one that's going around the planet, a rather large wave. And it's in the Southern Ocean. So I'm watching it. By listening to somebody else who watches it. Because I can't watch everything, man. And I appreciate you, dude. I'm always watching here. This is always a weather place for us. Oh, look at Mozambique. Okay, I'm going to give a flood warning. From right about here through to here. It's going to be bad, actually. Should have done this. I think I hinted at it in one of my lives. Look at the accumulations. It's very bad on the 10s. And that's a bread basket. Again, the bread basket's under attack. So I'm going to go right back to what I had. I'm going to pull it back a bit, right? And I'm going to run this. All right. And I've already took you through there. That's pretty good, eh? So, would it pull back, though? New Zealand, just look. I'm feeling so sad right now. It's just triggering tears. I thought to read the poem I read. I can't. I hit myself in the feels about 5 times. There's a couple very powerful lines. So I read sometimes. I go, wow, that came out of me. And I tell myself, no, it didn't. That's oneness. That's oneness typing. as you see as we go through at today and tomorrow, some of the storms coming up through the South Island are going to be rather heavy. It's not right needed right now, and it's going when it that right there about that time when it busts the South Islands when your earthquake risk is going to rise, and you are getting some more locally heavy rains, and not everybody's in agreement about this moment. I'm going to tell you, I want you to be at ease. It's not the same amount of water as got directed on top of you, but you're going to have some heavy cells coming here Wednesday and Thursday, my time. Remember, I say my time. I'm in England. I'm not here. Ah, gosh, they was nitpicking that, and when I told them the time differences, actually, you just told me I was accurate. Yeah, they fired him for not being nice. You know, people are burying their dead, they're mourning. Their people don't know whether the kids are alive and the mother's alive. You have some fucking respect. These people are going to have some bad weather and be very worried. And if I can ease their ease at all, I would. But I'd come on Friday, I can't ease your ease at all because you're going to have some problems. Those are going to be localized, heavy, and flashy. Right? The flashy floods and the winds could cause some slips. So, see the winds? This is not light. That's the wrong stat for that. Give me a minute. That would wind you up. Right? These winds that are coming through in these days are very high, but they're going to move the trees, and the trees are going to cause slips as the roots move and liquefaction happens. And well, when the factions of the clubs hit you with their clubs, you're fucked. So, all right, I got miles an hour. All right, here we go. I could have fired. I nearly gave you gnats, and you have Don gnats out there. So right, this is a very heavy winds that come roaring through here. It's going to be. I'll put some particle animations. It's relevant. And the pressure on Wellington is heavy, enough to cause a little cock on the island itself. Not a penis. It cocks it in its position. So right around then, your earthquake risk becomes higher. Yeah, and I'm concerned. So I haven't elevated it, but it would be more in when it eases up, it goes back into position, and that's when I get concerned. So I'll be more concerned than Sunday at about if I can remember your time zones. Because you're 12 off from that. It's a dun, 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 dun. So that's what about so that'll be. See, this is hard to do something. So let me move my hand over. So I will jump up a half a day, right? And I'll back off one. So you're looking at about 9 o'clock in the morning, according to this. That morning in there in the morning, might have some problems. So, yeah, you don't want to be standing in places of risk. If you're prepared for stuff, which probably you guys less a lot, um, you know what to do. I can't do this. I'm sorry. They killed my forest. They snapped the trees off at the top. They were never allowed to cut down, so they could cut them at the bottom and they won't have to trim it. They saved themselves. The loggers were ready. They were ready. We couldn't pull people out of the fucking Lahar, and they were fucking taking logs off the side of the mountain. I'm very angry. The ancestors are coming. This is not over. Well, maybe it goes to Bill Gates' house he bought. I think that's oneness. Right, I can't do this. This hurts.